Hi everyone! So first video review for this week is for the first of my 3 Ilva arcs that I was reading, which was Daughter of Fire, The Darkness Rising by Karen Frost. If you want to check out my Goodreads review, I have just posted that, so if you are on YouTube there is a link in the description below, or if you're on Facebook or on my blog then there is a link within the post. And this is a video review, so what an adventure this was. So The Darkness Rising is the second book in the Daughter of Fire series, and it really was quite the adventure. So we'd already met, if you've read book 1, you've already met Erin, who's the main character. If you haven't read it, that's fine, you can still read this. It would work standalone, but obviously you wouldn't quite understand some of the background and history, so it would benefit you to read the first one before the second one, but you can just read them. They stand alone as it is, but you have to read on to really understand what's going on. So Erin's continuing her journey after discovering her mystical magical powers, and she's finding herself obviously in the capture of the kingdom, and she's sort of being trained to fight, so a bit like I think she's referred to as one of the war mages. So something's kind of afoot in the kingdom, something's not right, and Erin senses this and she knows this, and with the help of Lise, together they sort of work out that everything, all that they know isn't as it seems. And especially for Erin, she starts finding out a lot that she's like, oh, she hadn't quite realised what happened, and now it's all coming back to her. She's starting to remember. So with everything going on, Erin not only has to learn to control her powers, but she's also having to learn who she can trust and who she can't trust, and who's telling her the truth. So there's a lot of conflict in there for her to deal with, and the adventure takes many twists and turns in search for the truth and for justice to be served. So it's a really thrilling adventure. I loved the adventure and the magic of the story, learning more about Erin and her friends, because we met them in the first book and we knew a little bit about them, but it was great to be learning more about them and how they were all going to work together. And it really intrigued me how they worked together as well, because they all had different powers and they all had different abilities, and they were definitely being trained for something, and while they were working out, it was really cool to try and decipher with them who was the bad guys and who was the good guys and everything else. So, you know, the twists and turns in the plot really created all the intrigue and mystery and really kept you hooked as a reader, and there was so much going on that you could get fully immersed in it, and just really enjoy the adventure with them. You really felt like you were there with them, so it was really exciting, captured the imagination, and I really look forward to more in the series. It's of a young adult nature, so it just really, although this sequel was quite dark compared to the first one, although the first one had some darkness in it, but this one, obviously Darkness Rising, it was going to be a bit darker. It made it a little bit more adult than the first book, but it's still a great fantasy book even for young adults, because it's not above their level, if you know what I mean. It's not too complex that you lose yourself, but it's complex enough that you can lose yourself in a great adventure. So I really like that about it. Erin and Lise, they were already off to a complicated start. Their friendship was strong, but they didn't really understand anything else that was sort of bubbling between them. I loved their character development in the sequel, I really did, because where they not only learn about themselves, they learn about each other, and their relationship's definitely a special one. I can't say too much because it gives away too much about the book, but I really love how they interact and how they just seem to fit together, and therefore that development is just really strong in this book. So it's a great addition to the series, and it's building lots of excitement for more from the series in the future, so I'm really excited for more. And I really enjoyed the book. I really liked it. Fantasy is one of these things you've got to hook people the right way, and Karen Frost, she's giving something very complex but simple at the same time, and I love that about fantasy. When I can understand it, it's brilliant, and I understand this perfectly. So like I say, great addition to the series. I'm looking forward to more. I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Daughter of Fire, The Darkness Rising by Karen Frost. If you've read The Darkness Rising by Karen Frost, again, get in touch, let me know what you thought of it. How do you like the series? Have you read book 1? Did you only read book 2? It'd be great to hear your thoughts on it. And if you haven't read it yet, but it's on your to read list, or you're interested in reading it, or this has made you interested in reading it, again, it would be great to hear that you're interested in reading it, because we always love to hear who's got what on their to read list. And if you do grab a copy of it, I really hope you enjoy it. Bye.